In today's video, let's try to create an infinite zoom, or as you've seen in the intro of this video, the insane drone altitude effect. So without further ado, tap subscribe if you haven't already. That really support my channel and motivate me to create more stuff like this. And now let's begin with our tutorial. Okay, so what I got here is drone footage recorded on Gran Canaria Island. As you see, I could go as high as this 120-meter maximum allowed altitude. And what I want to do is to go higher by creating some kind of zoom out effect in Davinci Resolve. So first thing you need to do is download and install Google Earth Pro application, which is free. And you need to locate the place, the location where the shot was created. In my case, it was Gran Canaria, so it's easy to find. Let me try to frame it the same as it was recorded by the drone. Yeah, let's say this is something like this. This is my frame. And now what you need to do is to take some screenshots. So that would be my first screenshot. The second one would look something like this. When you zoom out, try to keep your location in the middle of the screen. So something like this. The next one would be something like this, and so on and so forth. I already created some screenshots, so I won't be doing it now, but you got the idea. So in my timeline, I got my drone footage and I got my screenshots as a JPEG file. What we need to do now is to create some kind of animation so it smoothly transitions from one screenshot to another. So it looks as if we were increasing altitude or zooming out. So what you need to do now is to create a fusion composition. So open media pool, and somewhere in your media pool, it doesn't matter in which bin you want to do it. In your media pool, right click and choose new fusion composition. Let's call it zoom out. Let's set the default length at 10 seconds maybe and create. Now drag and drop it to the timeline and open Fusion. Okay, so once you're in the Fusion page, you need to grab a background node and connect it with the media out node. In the inspector, make sure in the image tab that the timeline resolution fits the width and height of the background node. If not, uncheck auto resolution and correct it. Okay, now we can add our first image. So let's say this is my first image, the most zoom out. Merge it over the background node like that. Take the second image, merge it over the previous one, and with the media into selected, click transform to create a transform node. It's automatically connected like that. Let me switch to single viewer and close the media pool to make more room. In the inspector, correct the size and center parameters so the second image aligns perfectly with the first one. That is a tricky part. It's a good idea to increase the blend parameter in the merge node so that you better see how the images are overlapping. It's too small. Let me increase the size. Okay, I think we are almost there. I think we are nicely overlapping two images, but the angle parameter need to be corrected as well. Okay. Yeah, I think we're good here. Let me check again the blend. Yeah, it's nicely overlapped. Okay, and let's grab the final image. Merge it over again as before and add transform node and repeat the steps again. But this time we need to center and align the third image over the rest of the composition. Yeah, now it looks pretty much aligned. Okay, but the issue with that is that you see the borders of the images. So we're gonna smooth it out with the rectangle mask. So just grab the rectangle mask to the nodes panel and connect the output to the inputs of your images. In the inspector, set the width and height to 1 and play with soft edge control as well as border width. If it's not enough, let me switch to double viewer and preview my mask on the left. Sometimes you would need to change the size of the mask, so I will decrease the height and width. So basically play with it until you don't see the borders. Okay, I think it's smoothly. The borders are smooth enough to be not so conspicuous. Now finally, add a transform node after the last merge node. Set the pivot point to your location. And you need to animate the size parameter, size control in the transform node. We're gonna do it using anim curves. So right click on the size, modify with anim curves. Now we can switch to modifiers tab. And in here you can further customize the scale and offset. So if we go to the first frame, you see that it starts from 0. So I will set it to 1. And if you go to the last frame, where I will increase the scale to maybe 20. No, it's too far, so maybe 18. And in the Tools tab, you can further customize the pivot point so that the frame is more or less similar to the last frame of your shot. The more precise you are, the less obvious the transition between your recorded shot and your animation will be. So this is how the animation looks, but we need to invert it so it zoom out. So just simply click invert. And you can also change the curve from linear to easing or custom if you wish. And here you can change the in and out animation. Let's say I want to out set as Cine. And yeah, we are ready in a Fusion page. Now we can go back to edit page. So this is our animation. Let me get rid of my pictures and I will put my animation side by side my drone shot. So to make the transitions more smooth, you can add cross dissolve transition or any other transition available in Davinci Resolve. You can add fake clouds if you wish. You can animate waves so it's not so obvious that we are already in the animation and not in a real recorded shot. You can experiment with speed ramps, audio design, and so on and so forth. Okay guys, as always, thanks for watching. Check out my other tutorials if you haven't already. Cheers and see you in the next one.